Welcome to Town Board meeting Thursday, December 5th. Please rise and salute the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Emergency exits are to my right behind the town attorney and also the door you came in. Roll, please.
Councilwoman Smoji.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Gutierrez.
Here.
Councilwoman Doyle.
Here.
Supervisor Perotti.
Here.
Also present, myself and Ian.
Public comment?
Sharon Kroger. I just have a question, because it looks like you're about to act on these resolutions, and some of us are just not filled in enough. The AT&T cell tower modification, that doesn't involve 5G, does it? Or
No.
does- Okay, thank you.
Town clerk report?
Tonight, I report the total revenues for the office of the town clerk were $1,621.45, and the local share was remitted to the supervisor in the amount of $1,474.95. Minutes of September, October, and November were circulated prior to the meeting. Are you ready to move to accept?
Yes. Motion to approve the September 5th, 2019 minutes.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti,
Yes.
Councilman Morris,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Doyle,
Yes.
Councilwoman Smoji,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Yes.
Motion to approve the September 19th, 2019 minutes with one correction on the first page, allowed being spelled A-L-O-U-D.
second.
Oh, second.
Supervisor Perotti,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Doyle,
Yes.
Councilman Morris,
Yes.
Councilwoman Smoji.
Yes.
Motion to approve the October 3rd, 2019 minutes.
Second.
I think we were skipping October 3rd.
We were? Okay.
What?
Never mind. Motion to approve October 17th, 2019.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Doyle,
Yes.
Councilman Morris,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Smoji,
Yes.
Motion to approve the October 21st, 2019 minutes with, yes, as presented.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Doyle,
Yes.
Councilman Morris,
Yes.
Councilwoman Smoji,
Yes.
Motion to approve the October 30th, 2019 minutes as read, as presented.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Doyle,
Yes.
Councilman Morris,
Yes.
Councilwoman Smoji,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion to accept the November 7th, 2019 minutes as presented.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Doyle,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Smoji,
Yes.
Councilman Morris,
Abstain.
And Gutierrez, did he?
I voted.
You voted, okay. Motion to approve the November 20th, 2019 minutes with one correction on the last page, just a typo. The last sentence should read, Doyle will ask for a resume. Oh, well, the second to the last page, sorry.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Doyle?
Yes.
Councilwoman Samoji?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Abstain.
Councilman Morris?
Abstain.
Earlier this evening, the board interviewed a candidate for a grant writer position. Is the board ready to move with the appointment?
Yes. I'll make a motion that we approve the authorization of Anna Clune to write a Greenway Communities grant for a flat fee of $525 for the February 8th deadline for improvements at Fountain Square.
Second?
Council members Samoji?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Doyle?
Yes.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Currently, Dawn is accepting applications for the following positions: paid positions, part-time recreation supervisor, part-time recreation director, and part-time typist. Volunteer positions, ethics board, planning board, zoning board of appeals, historian resumes, and letter of intent will be accepted through December 16th at noon. And interviews will be scheduled to take place on Thursday, December 19th, prior to the regular town board meeting. That's all I have for tonight.
Okay, building report. There have been 13 new building permits issued totaling $8,421. Certificate of occupancy searches for this month were 8 searches totaling $1,125. No fire inspections for this month. With that said, bringing the total of the month to $9,546. The recreation.
Well, we have going off a lot of things this next 2 weeks here in the town of Amenia. Some of this is just the news for you. Tomorrow night, the Amenia Fire Department is doing its parade of lights, and anyone can sign up. Just go down to the firehouse at 5 o'clock. The parade goes off at 6. Also,
If they have a float.
Huh?
If they have a float or a vehicle.
Oh, yeah, if you have a float or a vehicle, yes. All right, and let me see, then Saturday the 7th, Boy Scouts are selling wreaths here in the town parking lot. The Wassaic Fire Company is having a craft sale.
Is that a meaning? Or was that?
It's Wassaic Fire Department's having a craft sale.
They're having one?
Yeah, they're having one.
Okay.
On the 7th. Let me see. Also, the South Amenia Presbyterian Church is having its silver tea.
What time is that?
That starts at about 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So they're doing their silver tea and that. And then if you still have energy, in the evening Saturday night, you can go to the Smithfield Church. They're having their annual Christmas concert. It starts at 4 o'clock and there's a donation. So that's 4 of them on Saturday. And Sunday, you don't want to know what I'm doing. You're not invited.
Donation is about $20, isn't it?
It's about $20, yeah, $20.
Yeah, it's toward their
toward the renovations of
The
their church, which is it's a beautiful church.
There's no minimum.
I didn't think there was, yes.
Everybody is welcome
Every-
to that concert.
Everybody is, Sharon Kroger just said to me that, just to remember, that there is no real minimum. Everybody's welcome, whatever you want to give, and
It's just a suggested donation, that's all.
it's just a suggested donation, yes. And then they have a tea afterwards, after the concert, which, if you've never been, it's absolutely extraordinarily wonderful. And then they have a tea and stuff afterwards in their, I guess their friendship room, I guess that's what they call it down there. That's on Saturday. So that's a pretty full weekend. Now, seniors, next Wednesday, we're going to the Pond Restaurant. You've all signed up. 55 of us are going. Now remember, if you're getting on the bus in Tally-Ho, it's at 2 o'clock. If you're getting on the bus in Amenia, it's 2:30. And we'll be arriving there around 3 o'clock for appetizers. And then we have a sit-down meal, which you all know about. We have a lovely new musician. She's new to us. And she's going to be playing for us, and that'll be starting, she'll be there from 3 to 6. We'll have that. And you know that we have our 50/50, and we have our door prizes, and we have our little fun games and stuff. So it's really going to be a great, great time on Wednesday, December 11th. I think I told you everything about December 11th. Now, this is the one you have to mark on the calendar and tell everybody you know. Saturday, December 14th, the town of Amenia is going to have a tree lighting at 5 o'clock. There's going to be a concert in our gym, not the gym, in our auditorium. The Dover High School Band and singers are coming, and so the concert will be directly after the tree lighting. But the building will be open before 4 o'clock because the Historical Society, that's a lot of stuff, folks. The Historical Society is
Having an open house.
going to have an open house with antique toys up on the second floor, and you come before the tree lighting, and you can go up there and you can see the antique toys. Of course, there'll be cookies and juice all over the place.
2 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock.
No, 4 o'clock.
No, 4.
It starts at 4.
It starts at 4.
It,
No, 4 to 6.
it goes 4 to 6.
The historical.
The historical starts at 4.
Yes. That's what it,
But it's, it's an open house from 4 to 6, so
Right.
people can actually go anytime.
you can come in whenever, and let me see, let me do the tree lighting. After the tree lighting, we're going to go into the auditorium, and we're going to have the Citizen of the Year awards or announcements there, and our door prizes. And then we're going to have the band play, and you're going to have a wonderful time with that. There may be a surprise guest, old St. Nick, we'll see. And then and our lobby is going to be, there is a Christmas tree there, and it's going to have candy canes on it. So you may take a candy cane when you leave with our thanks and wishing you a very Merry Christmas. And I don't think I missed one single activity for us for the next 2 weeks. So I hope you all come, especially come to that concert. You're going to have a fantastic time. And I just want to give a shout out to John, who works in the building. He helped me decorate that stage and everything, so you're just going to have a wonderful time. Thank you all so much.
Are there any other committee reports?
Sharon, did you want to do CAC, or is that, did you have a report, or I guess, did we have a meeting last time? I can't even remember. I think we canceled due to weather. It's on the third Wednesdays at 7 p.m. here at Town Hall.
I think you canceled because that's when we had our meeting.
And, yes. And it was
Because
high
we
winds,
had to
yeah.
have that night.
that's right.
Because of the adopting the budget.
Duplicate, yeah, time frame.
So is there a meeting in December?
I believe so. Is that right? We certainly talked about it, but we don't know for sure.
Is that a Wednesday night, the 13th?
The third Wednesday, whatever that is, I don't know.
I have the number in my mind, I don't know if it's right.
Chairman is Michael Peak, and you can also reach out to me. I'm on the website, and I can let you know if you're interested in attending. December is typically a time when groups sometimes take that month off because it is so busy.
Yep.
But not us.
Not the town board, though.
Any other committee reports? Resolution number?
95.
Yeah, Ian, you want to give a little background on this?
Sure.
I mean, the original contract was in, what, 2006?
2003. There was a management agreement that was entered into in 2002 for the construction of the cell tower when it was originally done. I conducted a search of the records, town board minutes, almost all of them from 2002 to 2003. Town clerk also did a search, and nowhere within the records were we able to locate any indication that this lease was done pursuant to a permissive referendum, which is required under town law. So in an effort, we have now essentially kind of included.
Now, the purpose of the lease agreement is they're just upgrading some equipment.
Yeah, the original lease agreement isn't really changing at this point. What's happening now is they're
Upgrading some of the antennas.
So
and things.
the actual space on the cell tower isn't really changing. They're just swapping out equipment in this particular amendment, which is similar to what they did in their second amendment, which was, I believe, in 2013 was the second amendment. So that's essentially the background and Cliff Notes version of the history.
Okay, authorizing Third Amendment to Tower and Land Space Lease Agreement with New Singular Wireless PCS LLC. Whereas the town of Amenia owns real property located at 12 Washington Court, designated as Section 7167, Block 00, Lot 410168 in the town of Amenia, New York. Whereas the town recognized the need to upgrade the municipal communication services for fire, police, water department, highway department, and future municipal communication needs. Whereas the town desired to construct a multiple municipal tower for municipal use for other companies requiring electromagnetic signal distribution. Whereas on or about October 17, 2002, the town of Amenia entered into a master management agreement with JNS Enterprises Incorporated, whereby JNS was engaged to arrange for the development, construction, and management of a municipal cell tower and to manage the ongoing operations. Whereas the municipal tower was constructed along with an accessory structure for storage on the premises. Whereas on or about March 13, 2003, the town in Dutchess County Cellular Telephone, a subsidiary of American Cellular Corporation and a predecessor in interest to New Singular Wireless, entered into a tower and land space agreement whereby New Singular Wireless leased a portion of the cellular tower and the land owned by the town located at 12 Washington Court for the purpose of transmitting wireless signals and maintaining an equipment shelter. Whereas on or about March 13, 2003, the town and New Singular Wireless entered into a First Amendment to the tower and land space lease agreement whereby New Singular Wireless was allowed to place its equipment on a temporary tower while the permanent tower was being constructed. Whereas on or about October 24, 2013, the town and New Singular Wireless entered into a Second Amendment to the tower and land space lease agreement in order to modify certain terms of the agreement, including 1, definition of lessee space contained in the agreement, 2, the description and specifications of the equipment to be placed on the tower by New Singular Wireless, and 3, increasing the fee paid by New Singular Wireless under the agreement. Whereas New Singular Wireless and the town now wish to enter into a third amendment to the tower and land space lease agreement in order to modify certain terms of the agreement as described in the third amendment to the tower and land space lease agreement, a copy of which is affixed here too. Whereas pursuant to Town Board Resolution Number 20 of 2002, the Town Board, in accordance with New York State secret regulations, caused an environmental assessment form to be drafted, and after careful evaluation, issued a negative declaration determining that the proposed municipal tower would not have any significant adverse environmental impacts. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Amenia determines that this third amendment to the tower and land lease agreement is a Type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act and therefore not subject to review under SEQR. Whereas it has been determined that the approval of the tower and land space lease agreement dated March 13, 2003, the First Amendment thereto dated March 13, 2003, the Second Amendment dated October 24, 2013, and the Third Amendment to the Power and Land Space Lease Agreement are collectively subject to a permissive referendum. Now, before it resolved that the recitations above set forth are incorporated in this resolution as it fully set forth and adopted herein. Be it further resolved that the Town Board hereby ratifies the Tower and Land Space Lease Agreement dated March 13, 2003, the First Amendment hereto dated March 13, 2003, the Second Amendment dated October 24, 2013, and approves the Third Amendment to the Tower and Land Space Lease Agreement in the form annexed hereto, and authorizes the town supervisor to sign the Third Amendment to the Tower Land Space Lease Agreement on behalf of the town. Be it further resolved that the Town Board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to sign any additional documents that may be necessary to effectuate the Third Amendment to the Tower and Land Space Lease Agreement, to take such administrative and ministerial action as may be necessary to effectuate the terms of this resolution. Be it further resolved that this resolution is adopted subject to permissive referendum. Be it further resolved that the town clerk shall give notice of adoption of resolution by publishing a copy of this resolution, together with the notice of adoption thereof in the official newspaper of the town, and in addition, the town clerk shall post or cause to be posted on the bulletin board maintained by the town clerk at Town Hall and on the town's website a copy of such resolution and notice of adoption thereof with a publication and posting to be done within 10 days of the date hereof. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that the authorizing of the Third Amendment to the Tower and Land Space Lease Agreement with the New Singular Wireless PCS LLC.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes.
How long was the original lease for?
Off the top of my head, I don't recall. I believe it was at least I think it was subject to renewal every year after a term that had expired. I don't recall the exact lease term. Let's see, give me 1 second. I think I have it here.
The only reason I ask is because looks like Amendment 2 increased the fee that they paid. That was back in 2013.
There was an increase in 2013 in the fee.
Okay, I was just wondering what the term was in case we were...
I don't have the lease with me either. I can get back to you on it though.
Really, this
I
is
don't-
the lease?
That's
I
the
think
that's the
the new
amendment.
one.
I don't
That's the
have the
amendment?
original.
Okay.
Yeah,
went through
lease.
this
There's
one.
like a stack of papers on this. Trying to research. I
It
apologize.
was
I don't
only
have
6
them.
years ago, so I'm not, it's just, if it had
Yeah.
been like a decade or something.
Basically what they're doing with this amendment is just upgrading the existing equipment.
It was a pretty significant increase in the fee at the time. I think it went up like $700 or something like that I can get the
Wasn't
exact
it
number for you.
related to the number of carriers that they had every time they added another provider on their tower, we would get additional monies? That's what I believe
This is
was
just
how-
AT&T though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
just-
only
this-
one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's, they could rent,
Multiple.
obviously,
I
the
see.
space, yeah. And
Yeah,
there
there's
are, actually,
more.
I think Verizon's is coming up.
Yeah.
So there are other.
Verizon was
spaces being
added
used
I
on the
see.
town.
later on.
Okay.
But this was just, to Damien's point, the original was in 2003, and then in 2013, 10 years later, there was an increase in the price.
Do I need to read the public notice?
We have a vote.
Oh, yeah, there's.
Okay, you have to finish
yeah.
voting.
Councilwoman Smoji,
Yes.
Councilman Morris,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle,
Yes.
Supervisor Perotti.
Yes. Resolution number 96, authorizing Third Amendment to Tower. Okay, notice of adoption of resolution subject to permissive referendum. This is a public notice.
That's the public notice. The initial part of that, the initial paragraph is the only thing that's different. The rest is a recitation of the resolution itself. There's no change to it.
So everything's the same except for,
The initial notice indicating that,
okay, so this is public notice, Town of Amenia, notice of adoption of resolution subject to permissive referendum. Notice is hereby given that the Town Board of the Town of Amenia, Dutchess County, New York, the regular meeting thereof held on December 5th, 2019, duly adopted the following resolution subject to permissive resolution. So this is the second resolution that we have to do, right?
well, this is just the public notice. That's what's going to get published. And then after the 30 days expires, if there's no petition filed, there'll be a certificate or certification.
So this isn't
filed.
another resolution
No.
then? Okay,
No,
Just wanna get
it's just
clear
the
on
actual
it.
public notice on it.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, and resolution for capital market advisors contract renewal. They're the company that assists us when we're borrowing money and actually do all the paperwork and send it out to bid. So this would be 96. Employing a municipal financial advisor for calendar year 2020, whereas the town board seeks to employ a municipal financial advisor to provide the town with various financial advisory services during calendar year 2020, now therefore be it resolved that the recitations set forth are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein, and be it further resolved that the town board hereby employs Capital Markets Investors, LLC, with offices at 11 Grace Avenue, Suite 309, Great Neck, New York, 11021, as the municipal financial advisor for the town of Amenia for calendar year 2020 for the purpose of providing the town with various financial advisory services that may be needed by the town board from time to time hereafter in accordance with Capital Market Advisory LLC proposal of the town of Amenia dated November 21st, 2019, and as it may be further negotiated, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to execute the financial advisory services agreement. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second it.
Councilwoman Smoji,
Yes.
Councilman Morris,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle,
Yes.
Supervisor Perotti.
Yes. Now, we were going to do a resolution for Pine Plains Veterinary Associates contract approval for animal control, but we received an email today saying, because we were waiting for a contract from them, and they informed us that they are not accepting any additional towns at this time. So we won't be doing that. We're currently looking at the revised version of the SPCA contract, which they made major changes on it after hue and cry by the town clerks with some of the things they you know, they wanted the town clerks to do as
Yes.
far as collecting fees. And so we'll be voting on that on the December 19th meeting. Okay, resolution for disposal of non-working Sears air conditioner. And I think that's 97, right? Whereas the town of Amenia is in possession of an old Sears air conditioner bearing serial number JK326-25118, which is no longer working, whereas the town supervisor would like to declare the old non-working air conditioner as surplus equipment and dispose of it in a proper and safe manner. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Amenia hereby declares the aforementioned air conditioner to be surplus equipment and authorizes the disposal of said air conditioner in a proper and safe manner. I make that motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Samoji?
Yes.
Councilman Morris?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes. I don't have any other matters, town board comments.
I'd like to mention that Sharon and I actually went down to a workshop put on by Hudsonia to help us understand how we can use natural resource inventories and open space plans to help inform our land use decisions-making processes. So that we traveled to it's just outside of Albany, this location, and did it was probably about a 5 or 6 hour workshop, and it was very good. And we did that as CAC members, me as a liaison and Sharon as an actual member. And the CAC also helped sponsor a climate smart art project at the town hall, and that was November 2nd. We got some nice mouse pads as a prize for helping to participate. We did it with the town of Northeast and with the towns of Dover, and those give us points for ultimately moving ahead on being a climate smart community. That was a job that you designated to our CAC to follow up with following the incentives that are associated with being a climate smart community. On the same note, when we were in the middle of that snowstorm on Monday and businesses were closed, I took the opportunity to go online at the behest of a former CAC member, Tonya Shumatoff. She had encouraged me to make sure residents understand that they're NYSERDA, New York State Energy Research and Development Agency, whatever that means. NYSERDA is, and New York State is promoting solar and alternative energies, trying to become energy carbon neutral by year 2050, as I remember. If I remember correctly. So they have provided a new and accessible opportunity for property owners to get a reduced cost of their, to get 10% off on their electricity if they sign up with one of the community solar fields that are available. So I went onto the NYSERDA website, it was pretty easy, find community solar fields and click on that, and then look down the different community solar projects that are been recommended by NYSERDA. You have to know that you're a NYSEG, your provider is NYSEG, so there's already, you're gonna filter out and find just the ones that are available for NYSERDA customers. I found 4 or 5 different opportunities, and there were some variables, but not a lot of them. All of them offered 10% off your electricity, just straight off. Whatever you're paying in electricity, you can receive an immediate discount of 10%. There were some variations in that some of them all of them offered no fee. You could cancel at any time. So there's no real risk that you say, oh shoot, this is really a pain in the neck, I don't want to do it. So you can cancel at any time. it offers me, the particular one I chose was Blue Wave because they offered me a 20-year rolling, contract. It doesn't cost me anything to cancel, like I said. There's no fee. So there was no real downside, except for one. One of them is that I will now be paying 2 bills instead of 1. So one will be to NYSEG for the cost of delivering the electricity to my house and deliver, I think it's called delivery. And one will go to Blue Wave. And you can read about it more, but I'll get credits and, it's a little complicated, but ultimately I pay 10% less most months I will pay less. But overall, I will be paying 10% less. I encourage everybody to go online because I think it's very easy. And the reason why New York State is offering and encouraging us to help invest in solar is because 50% of properties are not appropriate for solar. My house is one. I have too many mature trees all around. My house roof isn't oriented in the right direction. I would have to basically cut down all the trees, perimeter trees, which is unlikely, or we've looked at leasing property next door, which would be another expense. And putting solar installation on somebody else's land probably isn't realistic for our family anyway. So this is a way that you can save money on your electricity, get out at any time if you don't like the service, and participate in renewable energy. So that's all I have to say.
Is there any other town board comments? Okay, I make a motion to go into executive session.
Could I have public comment 1
Oh,
minute?
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't see you. Get
I
up
just
there.
wanted to explain to you why I asked about the 5G.
I believe that's what, most of that is Files. It's
The
doing that.
Across the border in Connecticut, there's a very important dialogue that's been going on in the northwest corner among all the towns, because although there's a legitimate civic need to have upgrading, and the word upgrading can include a lot of stuff, you sort of have to be sure you know what it includes when you go along with it. When they put the 5G upgrade in, there are safe ways to do it, and there are less safe ways to do it. And the dialogue in Connecticut got very heavy because the physicians got involved, and the public health people from Albany came in, and they had forums. And some of us from the CAC have attended those forums. It's quite complicated. But the decision that seems to be being made in Connecticut is that rather than let the large corporation sort of make contracts and take over each town one by one, what they've done is they've combined their towns. They're going to have town-owned 5G, so that it's all the folks who are worried about safety are able to input in terms of how it'll be set up. And very specifically, so you can just conceptualize this, if the corporations come in and do it in a way where these black boxes are just hanging, and they get you part of the way, librarians are particularly at risk for this because these boxes are hanging, and then there's a wire that comes from the library or from the home or from wherever business to the black box. That's all quite radioactive. I mean, there's a lot of damage to the human body from this. And that's what they're trying to avoid. So they feel in Connecticut, if the towns as public entities own that whole procedure, then they can do it more safely. And I believe that's what's going to happen in about 8 or 9 towns in a cooperative fashion. So I'm not in a position to make any specific suggestions to you at this point, although I hope the CAC will be able to make some kind of recommendation at the future. Just keep on watch for this, and when it comes down the pike, hold up and give yourself a chance to really study it, okay? Thanks. That's why I asked the question.
Okay. I haven't received anything. from anybody regarding type 2.
Yeah, on that note, because there is a lot of conversation around that, thank you for bringing that up, Sharon. If you go to the federal FCC website, there is basically a primer and an education on what 5G is and what some of the concerns have been. There are different frequencies that different carriers will be using. Some of the higher frequencies at the millimeter wave are the ones that folks are, there has been some concern about, but there's a lot of information on the FCC website if you're interested in learning more.
Could you just mention again, aren't there some positions open for volunteers? Because I think the deadline and this time of year is very tough. I looked online because I had an inquiry, but I couldn't find it on our website. So if it could be posted maybe as an announcement, that might be helpful for people. I know the timing, the deadline was...
The deadline will accept from till December 16th at noon, and interviews will be scheduled to take place Thursday, December 19th, prior to the regular town board meeting.
And the openings, could you go over those again?
The volunteer positions,
Oh, that's okay.
Ethics Board, Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals, Historian Resumes and Letters of Historian. So Ethics Board, Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals, and Historian.
And they need to send in a volunteer application, right?
Resumes and letter of intent.
Resume as well? I think just a letter of intent, right?
Well, a letter of intent will be accepted.
Yeah, okay.
And there are volunteer applications outside the town clerk office.
Thank you, Erica.
You're welcome.
Do we have that on 22?
Been on since November 21st.
Okay, so we just need to make sure it gets on the website.
Okay.
Okay, we can do that.
Jim's motion?
Do we close the public?
No,
Executive session.
We have to close this one to go to executive session, so it's up to you, Jim.
no, I can do, I started that already.
If I can just make one comment, I was able to find the answer for Damien's question with regards to the original term of the lease for the cell tower. It was a 5-year lease with 4 5-year automatic renewals. So 2027, and
With
there's
no-
also an adjusted percentage increase in rent yearly.
Okay.
And the amendment that raised it was $736.62. So, and that 2013 amendment, second amendment to the lease, there was looks like an adjustment of some sort in the rent at that time, the monthly fee at that time. Background of it, I don't know.
So to a total 20-year term with all the options then?
Correct. I looked in the wrong pile, so I did have the lease with me, so I
What's the
apologize.
schedule of increases? I'm just curious, as, you know, so that it just
Every
automatically...
5 years, yeah, it's like a rollover renewal, right?
Yeah, so it says, let's see, adjusted rental rate shall be 4%.
Okay. Every 5 years, you get a 4% increase?
Rental rate shall be adjusted annually during the term of this agreement, or any extension thereof. So it should be annually, not
Every year, you get 4% increase.
correct, according to this.
It's not bad return.
Might be something that we want to check to make sure it has been
Are
increasing.
we getting additional revenue every year?
Well, it depends on the amount of users, right?
Wait, what? They're just paying rent. It's like paying rent. They're renting that
Well,
spot.
I can have
renting that
Marge
spot.
look up and
Yeah,
see
we
what the
should-
rent
It
is.
would be worth checking in, because these things
4% is
generally get lost
reasonable.
in, it's worth looking at.
Yeah, we can look that up and check into
Mhm.
that to make sure that we're getting what we need to get.
Are we
All
ready?
set? Make a motion to go into executive session for discussion regarding Kent Hall litigation.
Second.
The deputy town clerk and Councilwoman Vicki Doyle are excused. And included in executive session will be town attorney Ian Lindars and Special Consul George Lisco, who should be here in the next few minutes.